Good day, my dear students in Sci 3217. I think this is the fifth, fifth video regarding our, um, what do you call that? Coverage for the final exams in this semester. And definitely, this is the last one. This topic is all about photosynthesis. So it will talk all about the specific processes that is happening um, in the plant chloroplast, and then yes, how it produces glucose as our food, 'di ba? Um, and as a byproduct of this process. Okay, so before that, allow me to share my screen. I haven't opened it yet, so please bear with me if, this will take a while because I still have to find the PowerPoint. Okay. Mm-hmm. Photosynthesis. Okay, and then share screen. Ayan. I think you can already see this. Again, our topic for this session is all about photosynthesis. So just a disclaimer, most of the contents of this discussion was taken from the reporting of my dear friend, um, Mr. Jonilo Padohilaw, when we were taking up our BS in biology program. But it was actually trimmed down because some of the parts were very like specific, and I think it wouldn't be necessary for you to know it or for it to be included in this discussion. But rest assured that I have actually included all of the important details that you need to know in photosynthesis. Okay, so bakit hindi nag-next? Ayan. There are actually two reaction categories that are happening in photosynthesis. It's not just one process at all. Actually, there are two subset of reactions that are happening maybe simultaneously pangani, or in some plants like the C4 plants, it happens at night, the other one, and then the other is in the morning or in the daytime, something like that. So these are number one, photosynthetic electron transfer reactions or the light reactions. And then number two is the carbon fixation reactions or the dark reactions. So different ang sites, okay, of these two reactions. The light reactions happen here in the thylakoid. Okay, diba? Remember, there are three membranes in the chloroplast. We have the outer, the inner, and then thylakoid membranes. So when you say photosynthetic electron transfer reactions, this is where your light or photon gets pangalan yan, or is captured by your chlorophyll, and then so that the electron that will be excited in the reaction centers will be passed in the electron transfer Z scheme actually. Um, and then also the water molecule is broken down here to produce the oxygen. And also yung parang byproduct niya is the oxygen. And then the final goal of the photosynthetic electron transfer is to produce the NADPH and also the ATP that will be used in the dark reactions or the carbon fixation reactions later on in the stroma. Okay? Of course, we need to have energy, di ba? For us to create the glucose. So where do we get this energy? The chloroplast needs to synthesize ATP from the light reactions. Okay. Yan. So let's discuss the photosynthetic electron transfer reactions or light reactions first. So again, this is also called as the light reactions. It happens here. I'll just open my laser pointer here in the thylakoid, specifically in the thylakoid membranes. And then the dark reactions happen here in the stroma, di ba? Somehow the matrix, kung iano natin sa mitochondria, stroma of the chloroplast. Photosynthesis overall happens inside the chloroplast. Okay. So it happens in two large protein complexes. We have the photosystem 2 and the photosystem 1. And then these photosystems have different reaction centers. In the photosystem 2, we have P680 as the reaction center. And then the photosystem 1 has P700 as the reaction center. So basically, what happens here in the light reactions is that the photon, the energy from sunlight, ganun, photon knocks an electron out of the chlorophyll molecule. So there are a lot of chlorophyll molecules here in the pangalan yan, in the photosystems. And then these pangalan yan, photon energy will be, passed on and on and on and on until the reaction center will get super excited or like overactivated or somehow supercharged so that these electrons from this reaction center will be transferred from that reaction center to a mobile na naman na complex that will pass this electron to the next and then to the next and then to the next until you create the ATP and also the NADPH. Yes. The electron moves along the electron transfer chain and through a second reaction center. Okay. While that is happening, there are also simultaneous na mga processes or transports that are happening in pangalan yan, in the stroma to thylakoid. Yes. So through the thylakoid membrane, it is where the proton ions are pumped across the thylakoid membrane to make a proton gradient, diba? Because if there is no proton gradient, we cannot synthesize ATP, diba? So yes, just like the electron transport chain that is happening in the mitochondria, that there needs to be a proton gradient, di ba? For us to create ATP. And then also, the electrons are loaded, diba? We have passed those electrons from one reaction center to the next, and then yes. And then the final reaction onto that, it will be accepted by the NADP plus to convert NADPH. So, nucleotide adenine diphosphate. Yes, I think mo na to. Just ano na lang, say pangalan na. Search it in the Google kung mo ba itong gisulti. And then, don't get confused ha. Different ang NADH, which is in mitochondria, sa NADPH, dito sa chloroplast. So, you have to, figure it out. On your own. Sa difference nila. Okay? Electrons are replenished in the chlorophyll molecule by splitting water producing oxygen. Okay? Kaya syempre, naagog kagi pasa-pasa nga electron. Asa na po mo kuha og new nga electron? Dinhita sa water. So, electron donor is yung water. Yan. So what is the structure of the chlorophyll? Take note that this is the chemical structure of the chlorophyll. We have a hydrophobic tail region here with a porphyrin ring here. And at the center of it is the magnesium atom. Okay, this magnesium atom actually is very important because it is where the photon hits. Okay. Uh, oh yes. It is where the photon hits. And then it can delocalize. Kung mag-hit na yung photon, it can delocalize the, the electron here in the magnesium. And then pangalan yan, doing the resonance energy transfer or dili gani sa kadtong pangalan yan magkuha siya og electron from the water or dili gani ang electron mupadong na sa NADPH. Ayan. So, asa na ba ta? The excited electron in chlorophyll molecules tend to return quickly to its ground state. So, of course, naagog kayo na na-displace nga electron when a photon hits from that chlorophyll. So, how does it return back to its ground state? Okay, excited man siya kung nanay photon, paano man niya makabalik sa iyang kanang ground state niya, kanang stable, kibali, something like that. So, it converts the extra energy into heat, yes, or by resonance energy transfer, balhin-balhin tong electron, or by transferring the excited electron to an electron acceptor. Okay? So, yes. Pangalan yan. It's the NADPH. The chlorophyll returns to its original state by taking up an electron from electron donor. So, asa mo pud siya magkuha sa iyang electron nga katong na-excite o katong nakulang naman kay ija man transfer. So, dito siya sa H2O or sa water. Yes. Okay. So, where do these chlorophylls where are these chlorophyll pigments or chlorophylls situated? They are actually found in the photosystems. So the photosystems have the ability to capture and convert solar energy for their own use because of the chlorophylls that are found here. And there are actually two types. Yun yung may special type siya ng pair of chlorophylls doon sa reaction center. Then meron ding chlorophylls doon sa antenna complex. Okay. So they are called antenna complex. Okay, just like the the regular antennas that we have before in our TVs that receive the signal. So sila din yung mga antennas na nagre-receive ng mga protons. Tapos pinapasa nila kung sa kung sa regular pinapasa sa TV, antenna sa TV. Yung pinapasa nila sa reaction center. And then, the electron transport chain or the Z scheme specifically in the, photosynthesis is composed of these photosystems, two kinds of photosystems, PS2 and PS1, and then cytochrome B6F complex. These are the mobile protein complexes that transfer pangalan yan, the electrons from the one photosystem to another, also the plastoquinone, and lastly, of course, the ATP synthase. Let's discuss first the photosystem. So the photosystem is actually composed of two photochemical reaction centers which contains the special pair of chlorophyll na maoy kuhaan sa imong electron. And then kani pod siya nga chlorophyll mao po ni siya ang muguba sa imong water para makahimo ka og oxygen kay kuhaan tong imong water og electrons para mobalik siya sa iyang ground state. And then the second portion is the antenna complex. And this is also called as the light harvesting complex. It is the one that receives the photons coming from our solar radiation. And then it collects energy of a sufficient number of photons. So it's not just one actually nga photon. I think it's more ba to? Dili ko sure. Basta series of until ma-reach niya ang excited na state sa kadinga special pair of chlorophylls here in the photochemical reaction center. So this is a simple diagram of what is actually happening, pangalan yan, here in the photosystem. This is the whole photosystem, ha. These dark green na mga circles, these are the chlorophyll molecules in the antenna complex. Okay? While this one, actually dapat nga pair to siya. This is the reaction center chlorophyll. Okay, the PS680 or PS700. And then what happens is that when there is light, it hits one of the chlorophylls here in the antenna complex, and then pangalan yan, gets it into excited state, and then pangalan yan, the energy from that photon will be murag ipasa-pasa bitaw, passed on from one chlorophyll to another until it reaches the special pair of chlorophylls here where it can be able to split the electron donor, which is the water, get the electron here so that it can go back to its ground state because it will transfer or like sacrifice its own electron to the electron acceptor next, which is the mobile phase. I think it's the plastoquinone. And for the photosystem too, okay. And replenish its lost na electron from that electron donor. Okay. Yes. When light excites chlorophyll, energy is rapidly transferred yan. The energy from the light by resonance energy transfer until it reaches a special pair of chlorophyll molecules in the photochemical reaction center. Here is another diagram of what's happening. So this is the whole reaction center. Pangalan yan. Hindi pinakita actually yung pero meron siyang antenna complex. So before the sunlight is received by the antenna complex and then passed on to the reaction center. We have here two, diba? Kay this is a special pair. And then, pangalan yan, it will be transferred. It will sacrifice its electron to an electron carrier for the electron transfer or the Z scheme to proceed. Ayan. And then this will have its negative na ang iyang charge, and then ijo na pod ning pasa na pod to the next complex. Sige. So let's be introduced sa kadtong mga photosystems and also the electron carriers. Okay? Ayan. So, we have two photosystems. This is the photosystem 2. Again, one photosystem is composed of the reaction center and two antenna complexes side by side. Okay? And then, this is the photosystem 1, still composed of a reaction center and two antenna complexes. And then we have the cytochrome B6F complex that pumps hydrogen as it gets excited when the electron here is passed here by the plastoquinone. Yes. And then it will transfer its electron to the plastocyanine. And then another photon will strike here in the photosystem 1, causing the transfer of electron to ferredoxin, wherein the ferredoxin NADP reductase will pangalan yan, will give the electron to the NADH plus to make the NADPH. Yes. Um, and then since lots of proton ions will be deposited here, the high concentration gradient will feed the needed um, drive or ano yan, the needed na parang process for the ATP synthase to function, producing ATP in the end by pangalan yan, combining the ADP and the inorganic phosphate. So, all of these things happen here sa thylakoid lumen, di ba? Inside the thylakoid. Yan. So, it's in the innermost side yung nag-create na high proton gradient. And then, dito siya sa stroma, low lang yung kanyang proton gradient. Okay. So, all of these things is actually called as the Z scheme. Ayan. So, what happens? First, photon strikes the antenna complex. And then, when enough energy is gathered from the antenna complex until it reaches to when enough energy is gathered here in the reaction center from the passing on of the antenna complex, it will excite the electron from this reaction center, which is P680, to transfer here in the mobile carrier, which is plastoquinone. But of course, it has to return to its ground state because it lost its electron. So where does it get back its electron? From the water molecule. Ayan. Okay. So, it's like what I said, it has to split a water molecule by using its manganese clusters to withdraw the electrons. So, ayan, its manganese cluster will split up it needs two water molecules, okay? And four photons, four nga pala talaga, tama pala yung sinabi ko kanina. Four photons to produce one, pangalan yan, producing one molecule of oxygen and four, and storing or like, pangalan yan, dito ibutang, and dito itambak, nakalimutan ko sa English. Four hydrogen ions or protons in the thylakoid lumen. So imagine it's this reaction produces lots of proton ions in that lumen, which will eventually make it very, very concentrated, thus resulting to a proton gradient. Pero meron pang another pa po na magpapump pa ng another na proton para mas madali at mas concentrated yung thylakoid lumen later. Ayan. And then, di ba, napasa niya na again, ito yung nangyayari, napasa niya sa quinone. Then, going to the cytochrome B6F complex. And then, while this cytochrome B6F complex gets supercharged, it pumps additional proton ions here to the thylakoid lumen, making it very, very, very concentrated. So aside from this here that is happening, meron pang another na po na source of protons. And then, pangalan yan, passing it on to the plastocyanin, yung electrons. And then, after that, another photon will strike to the antenna complex of PS1 or photosystem 1. Yan. It's consonant. Sinabi ko na yan. Yung ano, ito yung nangyayari from photosystem 2 to photosystem 1. Creates a concentration gradient to drive ATP synthesis. So what is happening here in the photosystem? One, there is pangalan, a reduction of NADP plus to NADPH because the NADP plus will receive the electrons coming from the photosystem 1. Yan. How does it do that? How does it do that? The chlorophyll A in photosystem 1 will donate its electron to the NADPH. That is through the actions made by one enzyme, which is the ferredoxin NADP plus reductase. Ayan. To produce from NADP plus to NADPH. So, notice that, dito na lang, balik tayo. Photosystem 1 is actually confined here in the unstacked stroma thylakoids, while the photosystem 2 is confined to the stacked grana thylakoids, where photon is initially harbored. Dito. Yan. Yan. Ito siya, mga ATP synthase pala. So, saan mo makikita yung photosystem 1? Usually dito sa unstack. Oy, wala pala dito. Mga hindi nagsastack ng mga thylakoid. So, may nitag isa-isa lang. Ingana. Tapos, well, ang photosystem 2, dito siya sa kanang stack nagkato na ingon. Okay. And then, after that, nakaproduce ka ng NADPH, which will be needed in the dark reactions. You will also produce another, which is the ATP. And it is powered through the proton gradient that is happening here inside the thylakoid lumen. So, when there are a lot of, protons here, and then only less proton here in the stroma, of course, it will go out here in the ATP synthase, pairing that the transport mechanism to energize the production of ATP from NADP plus inorganic phosphate. Okay. So again, the synthesis of ATP happens here in the ATP synthase. And that is how your photochemical electron transfer reaction happens. Okay? So again, we have two photosystems. And then, pangalan yan, two mobile carriers, the plastoquinone and the plastocyanin. And then two sites for production of protons here in the reaction center, in the manganese complex of the photosystem 2, wherein it splits the two water molecules, getting pangalan yan, 2 electrons, and then producing 4 protons, and then 1 oxygen molecule. And then another pumping of proton ions to the thylakoid lumen or thylakoid space, that's just the same, through the cytochrome B6F complex. Because there are lots and lots of, protons because of these two processes here, it will cause high concentration gradient, thus supplying the needed energy for the production, not really the energy, needed na pangalan, drive, something like, yeah, to produce ATP. But of course, one proton ion needs to go down or to come out from the thylakoid lumen. Yes. And then we also have um ferredoxin reductase, NADP reductase, to produce your NADP plus and to produce your NADPH from one proton and the addition of NADP plus. So yeah, that's it. Um, yeah, remember that the NADPH is the acceptor of the electron. Okay, that is being passed from here to here. Yan. Ayan. Ayan. And then another. And then next. Dalawa ha. Nganong dalawa man? Kahit dalawang water molecules yung na-split dito. Yan. So, dalawa. Tapos, still dalawa yan. And then, that's it. Okay, notice that the ATP synthase location between chloroplast and mitochondria is actually different in a way, diba? Pangalan yan. The chloroplast ATP synthase kasi is located here in the non-stacked, okay, na mga regions because, the thylakoid lumen is small enough, diba, for the proton gradient to become high enough for the ATP synthesis to occur without the need for the elaborate arrangement of the thylakoids. Okay? But here in the mitochondria, it needs to have this somehow curves in the cristae so that the protons that will be, deposited will only have very little space, causing for the proton gradient to be achieved earlier or like in a short phase when compared if the ATP synthase are located here in the smooth regions of the inner membrane. Okay. So again, what is the summary of the light reactions? So how is the energy from the photons being transferred? Through resonance energy transfer. Then, how do we replenish the energy that is knocked out from the reaction center in the photosystem 2? We get it from the electron donor, which is the water molecule. Two water molecules produces one oxygen molecule. And then two electrons are passed on from photosystem 2 to plastoquinone B to cytochrome B6F to plastocyanin to ferredoxin and lastly to ferredoxin NADP plus reductase accordingly. And in the end, producing pangalan yan, NADPH, diba? Because the NADPH will receive the two electrons and also get one proton, and then, of course, the NADP plus. Yes. Combining that, you get the NADPH. In the ferredoxin, NADP plus reductase enzyme. And then because there are lots of protons in the thylakoid lumen, little is left in the stroma, and then you have also gotten one pa nga to produce the NADPH. So that gradient drives the synthesis of ATP from adenosine diphosphate and inorganic phosphate. Thus, the final products of the light reactions are ATP, NADPH, and oxygen. Okay, so we're already done with the photosynthetic electron transfer or the light reactions. Now, we can raise the question, where is the glucose, being synthesized? It was not mentioned yet. Actually, the answer to that is here in the stroma through the carbon fixation reactions. Diba? That's why it's called carbon fixation. Diba? Because, glucose is an organic compound. Wait lang. I have to charge my laptop. Ayan. Dito na tayo sa stroma. Okay, so again, we're already done here. Now let's move on here in the stroma. So, in order to produce the glucose, we need to have energy. And that is the reason why you need to do the light reactions to make the ATP. Also, NADPH will serve as a reducing power for the carbon fixation reaction to occur. And then, actually, it's not really the glucose that is produced, but the 3-carbon compound G3P or glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, and then through combinations of I think 5 ba to siya? Tutungao na pod ang 5 nga katong G3P, mahimo na pod ni siya nga glucose. Later in the video, you will figure this out. Yeah. So basically, this is what is happening in the carbon fixation reactions. Your carbon dioxide, yes, will be, added here in the ribulose 1,5 bisphosphate through the enzyme Rubisco. And then some series of reactions that are happening, marami pa mga intermediates. And then producing in the end, pangalan, ikakat na naman to sila kasi pangalan naging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon. Himuon na ni siya nga 3 carbon. So, ikat to siya sa katong intermediate, produce 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate. Yes. Ayan. So basically, this is what happens here in the carbon fixation cycle. Take note that the other term for carbon fixation cycle is Calvin cycle. Diba? And then, so yan, you need 3 molecules of carbon dioxide to create 6 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate by the action of the Rubisco. That this is called as the carboxylation. And then you will need 6 ATP molecules to undergo with the next intermediate, which produces 6,1,3 bisphosphoglycerate, and then you will need NADPH to reduce, has the reducing power to reduce the 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, so G3P. And then, pangalan yan, 1 molecule of the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate will leave the cell. That's why you need only 5. 5 glyceraldehyde of G3P or glyceraldehyde 5 molecules, of G3P or glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate um, will be needed. And then you also need another 3 molecules of ATP producing 3 ribulose, 1,5-bisphosphate, and then so on and so forth. So the net result is for 3 molecules of carbon dioxide, you will get 1 molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, this one, kani siya, okay? And then, after that, and then 9 molecules, okay, 6 plus 3 of ATP will be used up, and then 6 molecules of NADPH are also used up. And also, napay water. Ay, wala na lang, joke only. Oo, ano to siya. Tapos mobalik ra to siya tong 5. 5, di ba? 5G3P. Tapos, himuon to siya nga katong 5G3P, himuon siya nga 3 RUBP, masir na RUBP, tapos mag-need na po ka og tulog ka carbon dioxide. Tapos, makahimo na ka. Tapos, makahimo na ka from the 3 nga RUBP, makahimo na po kag 6 nga 3-phosphoglycerate. Tapos, balik na pod, intermediate, tapos maggawas ka og glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Tapos, kani siya nga G3P, mo ni imong kuhaan sa imong glucose. Yes. Oo. Mas ma-understand din nimo sa pangalan yan, sa video that I will show you. Okay, which is in the next slide. I'll just stop my screen sharing. Okay, wait lang. And then I'll open that one. Okay. Here it is na. I'll just screen share it again. Screen share. Yan. And then also, share the, where is it? Share the audio. Yan. For you to also hear the sounds. Yan.
You're facing a giant bowl of energy-packed carbon crunchies. 1 spoonful, 2, 3. Soon, you're powered up by the energy surge that comes from your meal. But how did that energy get into your bowl? Energy exists in the form of sugars made by the plant your cereal came from, like wheat or corn. As you can see, carbon is the chemical backbone, and plants get their fix of it in the form of carbon dioxide, CO2, from the air that we all breathe. But how does a plant's energy factory, housed in the stroma of the chloroplast, turn a 1-carbon gas like CO2 into a 6-carbon solid like glucose? If you're thinking photosynthesis, you're right. But photosynthesis is divided into 2 steps. The first, which stores energy from the sun in the form of adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. And the second, the Calvin cycle, that captures carbon and turns it into sugar. This second phase represents one of nature's most sustainable production lines. And so with that, welcome to the world's most minuscule factory. The starting materials? A mix of CO2 molecules from the air and pre-assembled molecules called ribulose bisphosphate, or RUBP, each containing 5 carbons. The initiator? An industrious enzyme named Rubisco that welds 1 carbon atom from a CO2 molecule with the RUBP chain to build an initial 6-carbon sequence. That rapidly splits into 2 shorter chains containing 3 carbons each and called phosphoglycerates, or PGAs for short. Enter ATP, and another chemical called nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, or just NAD pH.
Dinucleotide
ATP, working like a
phosphate pala,
lubricant,
hindi
delivers
diphosphate.
energy, while
Dinucleotide.
NADPH affixes one hydrogen to each of the PGA chains, changing them into molecules called glyceraldehyde 3 phosphates, or G3Ps. Glucose needs 6 carbons to form, made from 2 molecules of G3P, which
But,
incidentally have 6 carbons between them. So sugar has just been manufactured, right? Not quite.
not yet.
The Calvin cycle works like a sustainable production line, meaning that those original RUBPs that kicked things off at the start need to be recreated by reusing materials
Your
within the cycle now.
RUBPs.
But each RUBP needs 5 carbons, and manufacturing glucose takes a whole 6. Something doesn't add up. The answer lies in one phenomenal fact. While we've been focusing on this single production line, 5 others have been happening at the same time.
Yes.
With 6 conveyor belts moving in unison, there isn't just one carbon that gets soldered to one RUBB chain, but 6 carbons soldered to 6 RUBPs. That creates 12 G3P chains instead of just 2, meaning that altogether 36 carbons exist, the precise number needed to manufacture sugar and rebuild those RUBPs.
Yes.
Of the 12 G3Ps pooled together, 2 are siphoned off to
Two are
form that
siphoned
energy-rich
to
6-carbon
make the
glucose
glucose.
chain, the one fueling you via your breakfast. Success! But back on the manufacturing line, the
And then the
byproducts of this
30
sugar production are
carbons,
swiftly
which
assembled to
are,
recreate those 6 RUBPs.
yes, 6 RUBPs.
That requires 30 carbons, the exact number contained by the remaining 10 G3Ps. Now, a molecular mix and match occurs. 2 of the G3Ps are welded together, forming a 6-carbon sequence. By adding a third G3P, a 9-carbon chain is built. The first RUBP, made up of 5 carbons, is cast from this, leaving 4 carbons behind. But there's no wastage here. Those are soldered to a 4th G3P molecule, making a 7-carbon chain. Added to a 5th G3P molecule, a 10-carbon chain is created. Enough now to craft 2 more RUBPs. With 3 full RUBPs recreated from 5 of the 10 G3Ps, simply duplicating this process will renew the 6 RUBP chains needed to restart the cycle again. So the Calvin cycle generates the precise number of elements and processes required to keep this biochemical production line turning endlessly. And it's just one of the hundreds of cycles present in nature. Why so many? Because if biological production processes were linear, they wouldn't be nearly as efficient or successful at using energy to manufacture the materials that nature relies upon, like sugar. Cycles create vital feedback loops that repeatedly reuse and rebuild ingredients, crafting as much as possible out of the planet's available resources. Such as that sugar, built using raw sunlight and carbon, converted in plant factories to become the energy that powers you and keeps the cycles revolving in your own life.
So I hope that the confusions and the questions that you have in your mind is answered through this video. Okay. Let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Wait lang. How do I do that? Again, and then again. Screen share it again. Yeah. So this is actually the last part of the discussion. Overall, everything that is happening, in the chloroplast sums up to this net chemical reaction in which you will need 6 carbon dioxide that you will use in the dark reactions plus 18 ATP molecules, diba? 9 man to siya sa usa ra sa Calvin cycle. Oo. So, asa man ang iba? Asa to yung gamiton? Wait lang. 9 din here. And then, ay 12. Di, aran ay Di 12 pa ni siya sa sa dark reactions na ni siya. 12 plus, where is the other ATP? Di ara, sa phosphorubylase kinase, sa rubisco? Oo, sa rubisco o last dito sa pangalan yan. Ay, di ara rubisco, di ay sa, sa ribulose 1,5 bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase man ni rubisco. So sa first and second to the last, yes. Sa second and the last pala. Sa second and last part of the Calvin cycle, you will need 18 ATP molecules plus 12. Wait lang. Ay, okay. You will need 6 ATPs pala para sa katong pag-cut-cut, pag, pag, pag-paste and then pag-cut sa katong ano nimo para makahimo ka sa imong RUBP. Balik. Oo. Okay. Plus 12 NADP each, ang imong kinahanglan nga i-reduce, di ba? Plus 12 protons, plus 12 water molecules, yields to glucose plus 18 ADP plus 18 PI plus 12 NADP. So that's basically the net chemical reaction that is happening in the Calvin cycle. Hindi ko pala na-include yung net chemical reaction ng pangalan yan, ng photosynthesis. Diba? 6CO2 plus 6H2O equals C6H12O6. Yes. So yeah, that's it. Here are the references of this lecture. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for listening. See you on the final examinations day. Okay. So that's it. Thank you.